on my computer because I started my YouTube channel today, y'all. So I recorded my first YouTube video. Something I have been trying to do for forever. So hello to everybody coming in. I am Shannon Brown, the CEO of Create Your Own Empire. You guys, I help new online entrepreneurs use the power of marketing and manifestation to build the dream empire. Okay, so I am really excited. Hello, Sherry. Sherry is an author, a ghostwriter, a film writer, and a writing mentor. Yay! Thank you so much, the Dope Life Coach. She said, congratulations. I just did it, right? I just did it. Okay. It was one of them things that I have been saying I'm going to do for years. Start the YouTube channel, and I'm doing it. So I'm really excited because it's a journey, right? In order to get to 1 million, you got to start at 1, right? So today was the first starting day back. I had a wonderful time off, right? Like my social media break, y'all probably might not even notice, but I really was on a social media break. Like, I don't even know, last time I went live was like mid-December. I thought it was going to be for a week and I ended up extending it. It was much needed. But here in 2022, tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about being more consistent. Okay, being more consistent in our lives, our business, our relationships, being more consistent for ourselves. Okay, so I want to know when it comes down to consistency, right? Like, how consistent of a person do you feel like you are? Do you struggle with being consistent? Is, being consistent and showing up and I mean like consistent, like last February of 2021, I told myself, I'm going to go live one night a week. I'm going to go live. That's the night I'm going to show up no matter what. I'm going to do it, right? Monday nights. That's how Monday Night Live was born, okay? And so I was very consistent last year. I'm super proud of myself. I literally only missed like 4, maybe 5 Mondays, right? I moved and then the last Monday of the, last year. So like I missed less than 5. So Claire, Claire says definitely struggle. I started strong and then flop always. Yes, y'all, it's tough. So hey, Claire is a parent and family consultant supporting families and children between 3 and 5 years old. Ooh, kudos to you as a mom of 4 my daughter will be 2 on the 15th of this month. My son will be 6 in May. I have a 10-year-old this year and I will have an 18-year-old this year. So thank you for what you do. Struggling in some areas, like, right? It's like really hard to be like consistent all the way around in our lives. So one of the things that's the thing about social media, right? Because you can only see what people show you when it comes down to social media, right? Am I right or wrong? Like y'all don't know what I'm going through, but what I get a lot is people hit me up all the time and they're like, Shannon, like, how are you so consistent? I just had this conversation the other day with a friend of mine. And she said, how are you so consistent? Like, she's like, I know you schedule your posts. I know you do all these things. And I'm like, nah, sis, I don't schedule my posts. Okay. Y'all, half the time I barely got it together. So when we're talking about being consistent, that's something this year that I am definitely working on for myself. And as I started to begin, like, okay, why am I not consistent? Because sometimes we have to begin to digest the problem. Okay. So you guys, you know what? I just thought about this before I actually jump into this. Hello, if you are just coming in, please go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you from, what you do, what you sell, who you help, and then go ahead and tag and send this live out. Send it live out. Let's get some more wonderful people in here. Hey, boo. Let's get some more wonderful people in here. I'm going to send the live out. And there we go. Okay. So let me see. Livy Marie says, I need to schedule my posts because sometimes I forget to send out emails or posts. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Guess what? That's natural, right? So we're going to talk about being consistent on social media. Hey, bestie. We're going to talk about being consistent in our lives, our relationships. We're going to just really dive into it. So go ahead, feel free to grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, take mental notes, whatever you need to do, because this conversation is most definitely going to be good. So we got some more shout outs. Livy Marie from Blissful Scents. She is Audria from Detroit, Michigan. I'm your cousin you never met. Hey, cousin. I love that. Girl, I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised. So when it comes down to being consistent, okay, let's just be real with ourselves. I think that the first thing we have to do is truly diagnose or break down our issues with why we're not consistent in the first place, right? And what we'll find is there's a lot of excuses that we tend to use. And I know excuses sounds really harsh, but this is going to be one of those conversations that sometimes we need people to just put out there for us, right? Sometimes we need people to kind of give us that ugly truth so that we can get better. Okay. Hey, Courtney from Arizona, who's the realest hustler in the streets. I can't with her, y'all. I just can't. But we need someone to give us that ugly truth. And I needed someone to give me that ugly truth. And sometimes because we don't want to hurt, we don't want our feelings hurt, right? We don't want nobody to check us. We don't want nobody to really call us out on our stuff. But it's 2022. And we don't have time to be playing around and not showing up as our best selves. So it really starts with being consistent, because especially when it comes here to social media, the more consistent you are, the more, for example, y'all, I was really off for 2 weeks. Y'all might not even have noticed, but I was really off for 2 weeks. I posted one time in the last one time a day in the last 2 weeks, no joke, y'all can go back and look, right? But because of the rapport, because I consistently showed up for my community, because I'm consistently showing up, right? Even I was still in my DMs, and I still had orders coming in. I still had my social media account from December to January grew by 350 new community members. This was me posting one time a day, all right? And I know you got people out there who say post 3, 5, and all these different times, but it's ultimately because I'm consistent all the way throughout the year. I show up, okay? So one of the things that I began to realize, right, is this. Being consistent is not what I tell you to do. Okay, so go ahead and drop a number, or go ahead, drop something in the comments and let me know if you have heard this before, right? Especially here on social media. In order to be consistent on social media, you got to post 3 times a day. You got to post 5 times a day. You got to show up in your stories. You got to do 30 days of reels. You got to send out the emails every week. Those things are important. But what happens is when we are following what somebody else's definition of consistency is for our lives, we begin to struggle because that's not the realistic expectation that we should have for ourselves, right? So what's consistent for me may not be consistent for Courtney, may not be consistent for anybody else here on this live or listening in. Okay. So if I came up here and was look, y'all need to get up here. Y'all need to be posting 3 times a day. Y'all need to be doing 2 reels a day. You need to be doing 5 stories a day. And you're looking, I'm you know why? Because that's how I'm growing. All right. That's what's working for me. That's what I'm doing to grow my community. So I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing. And that might sound good because I heard somebody on here say it always starts good in the beginning, but then I flop, right? And you're flopping in your consistency because you're following what somebody else is deeming what's right for you, right? So I'm a mom of 4, right? My level of consistency is always going to look different than somebody else's who does not have kids, okay? Or who does not have the type of responsibility that I have when it comes down to making a consistent schedule for my life, okay? So the first thing I want y'all to write down is, what does consistent look for myself, right? Is consistent showing up one time one time a day for my social media? Is it me showing up in my stories? Like, what is it? Like, it's okay, wherever you start down, put it. Because last year, right, February of 2021, I told myself, honestly, guys, I was feeling bad because I got to a point where I'm like, damn, everybody goes live. Like, I don't get the opportunity to go live like everybody, right? Like, I can't go live between the hours of 5 and 8. Like, that's prime time in my house. But I looked around and I felt like everybody was doing that. And it was starting to like get me down because I'm like, I can't do that. Right. Like, that's just unrealistic for me. Right? I got dinner, I got homework, I got kids, I got life. That's like the busiest time of my life. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pick one day out of the week, and I'm going to pick that day to go live. And I'm going to make that live the best live because I'm only showing up live one time a week. And that happened to be Monday nights at 10 o'clock. And guess what? I've been doing it ever since February of last year. And what I found is that it literally began to just release the stress off myself because I gave myself a realistic expectation. Right. If I jumped out of the gates and was like, you know what, everybody, it seems as though everybody's going live 2, 3, 4 times a week, I'm just going to do it. But I knew that it wouldn't be for me, and I wouldn't end up flopping, right, realistically down the line, because that's just not for me. So when you're listening to advice, even if it's from me, you have to still begin to say, you know what, let me take pieces of this and begin to fill in and fit it into my life, right? If you work a full-time job, let's just be realistic, right? You say you have kids and you work a full-time job. You have like 10 hours of your day already gone. So with the rest of the time that you still have to be a mom, a spouse, for yourself, just a human, how much time do you actually have to dedicate and be consistent in your business, right? What does that look like? An hour? 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, an hour a day, 6 hours a week, whatever it is, you have to choose the number, right? Now, here's the hard part. Once you choose what that looks like, being consistent means no matter what, I'm going to show up for myself, right? Because ultimately, while I'm showing up for you guys, I was feeling bad because I wasn't going live as much as everybody else and all my peers I see over here on social media. But I said, damn, ain't like y'all wasn't feeling bad for me. I was feeling bad for myself. So I said, you know what? I'm going to show up for me because I love what I do. I love coaching. I love going live. So I'm going to do it for me because I enjoy doing this. So once I say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do for me, it began to make me feel better. It made me showing up having fun because I'm like, you know what, they got me one time a week and I'm going to make sure I start off everybody's week and I'm going to kick it off so it can hold them all the way over to the next Monday, right? And if by chance I can get on live any other time during the week, then I'll do it. But I cannot hold and put myself to an expectation that I know I can't handle, and I know that it's just not realistic for myself. Okay. So when it comes down to consistency inside your business, and I saw some, and I really want to address it because a lot of people have this thing with being consistent with posting. Okay. So let's talk about being consistent with posting on social media. Now, you have two types of people, all right, on social media. You have those, right, who are planners, right? And then you have those who are just not planners, right? People who plan their content out, they already know what they're going to be posting for the rest of the month in January. Matter of fact, if you are a planner, if you plan your content, you already got your content calendar done, your content done, you already know your hashtags, like you already know. Even if you already know what you're going to be posting for the rest of the month, go ahead and put a number 1 in the chat. And if you are like myself, right, like you really don't know what you're posting next week and you're not a big time planner and that's just not your thing, you don't schedule your post or anything like that, go ahead and put a number 2 because that's where I'm at, right? And it was so funny because I was having this conversation and this girl was like, I would have lost money betting that you don't schedule your posts. I'm like, I don't schedule my posts. Most of the time, honestly, you guys, everything that you see me post, I have either thought of it that morning or the night before, right? And so it just happens to work out better for me because of the way I think. I understand, like, I'm a fast thinker. Sometimes, even if I planned out a post for tomorrow, something might come to my head and I don't even post it. So I really go with the flow. So I see some twos in there. If you are a planner, if you plan out your social media, go ahead and drop a number 1. If you are a non-planner like myself, go ahead and drop a number 2. So one of the reasons why I also don't plan my content, like schedule it out, because it holds me to be more committed to showing up on the platform, right? Like, no joke. It holds me more accountable to showing up, because I know I got to show up to post my posts. And so what that does is, it's like, okay, I know what works for me. I know that I need to be out here, right? Networking, because every time I show up, honestly, like just about every time I show up, I get paid. So the more I'm on a platform, right, the more chances, higher chances I have of getting paid. Like I posted this morning, I got 2 sales like within the hour. Great. So what does that mean for myself? That means, that tells me, that gives me the motivation. The more I show up, the more I get paid. And that's how I live my business, right? I truly separate Create Your Own Empire from Shannon Brown. Like, that's my business, my baby, but we're 2 different people. And that's how I run my business, because it gives me that separation I need, so I do not constantly always feel attached to what I'm doing, right? I love what I'm doing. This is my everything. But it gives me that separation, and it allows me to build the business in a way that is reaching my audience, my target audience, the best. Yes. So, okay, I see some planners. Shout out to my planners, y'all. Y'all gonna come help me? I see some twos, so y'all better be looking, because Lord knows us twos, we need the help. We need the help. And I think ultimately, when it comes down to the planners versus the non-planners, you just have to go with what makes you feel better. Because if I sat here and I was to tell a non-planner to start planning your social media content, even if I taught you how to do it, and even if I showed you my methods, if you know that that's not a realistic way for you to consistently carry that out in February, March, April, May, June, July, right? Everything forward, then that's just not the best way for you. So remember that just because somebody else tells you their way, their success formula, their consistency formula, the way that they do things, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way you have to do it. You have to find what works for you. So hello, let me go ahead and reset the room. Sound like I'm on Clubhouse. Hello to everybody coming in. I am Shannon from Create Your Own Empire with some first Monday night live of the night. Consistency is a bit, right? That's what we're talking about tonight, how to be more consistent in your life. Hey, how to be more consistent in your life, your business, your relationships, and everything like that. So we kind of pretty much covered the social media consistency, and I basically just broke it down like this. You have to go with a formula that works for yourself and hold yourself accountable, right? Ask yourself, being realistic, how many times can I be consistent on social media, right? Does that look like every day? Does that look like 1 post a day? Does that look like 3 posts a day? Does that look like posting 4 times a week? I got to the point last year where I just stopped posting on the weekends. All right. So the thing is, the less you show up, the more you have to be impactful. Okay. Catch that now, because it is like when you're posting 3, 4, 5 times a day, right? You got a little leniency in what you can post, right? But if you're only posting 1 time a day, you want to make sure that that post is the best post that you can possibly push throughout the day, because that post has to live, and your people and your followers still have to interact with that post, so that that post just does not fall flat on its face. So if you're going to be posting 1 time a day, you need to make sure that that's your best post possible. Like, you need to make sure your caption is right, your hashtags are together, your aesthetics of your post looks good enough to stop somebody from scrolling to actually look. And you want to make sure that you have a call to action, because we know that likes don't always necessarily equal dollars, right? So you want to make sure that you are still leading people back to your store, because the ultimate goal, right? Forget someone liking, forget someone commenting or saving. I want someone to hit the link in the bio and go check out. Go check out my store. Go buy something. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Hey, sis, hey, come on in. So remember that with your social media. Whatever you decide consistency is for you, you still have to show up the best that you possibly can, right? Like, don't skim yourself, don't scam yourself. Don't just say, you know, I'm just going to post this and ghost this, right? You still want to make sure that you can at least dedicate a realistic amount of time. Every time you go to the bathroom, shit, pop open your phone, right? Give that 5 minutes of liking somebody else's post, commenting on somebody else's post. That's still interacting on social media, right? Someone has said earlier that they sometimes tend to forget to post, or they forget to send an email. Y'all, I'm horrible with email. I'm just like trying to work out my consistency plan for that. That's a whole nother live topic we like to talk about, but I'm realistic with myself, right? And that's the thing you have to be realistic with yourself and live by your standards and not what somebody else wants you to do here on a platform because it worked for them. Okay. Now, y'all, next month, February 4th, 2022, right? Next month, literally next month, I celebrate my 10-year wedding anniversary. Me and my husband have been together for 18 years, coming up on 10 years of marriage, right? 10 years of marriage. And one thing I hardly ever do is talk about relationships here, but I want to talk about that coming up into 2020 and what that means with being consistent with your family and your business this year. Okay. Thank you. Look, I wish. JR, my brother JR says, you're only 18. I wish. I wish these knees felt 18, right? Or my back felt 18, but I'm blessed, right? We're really blessed. Like, we're high school sweethearts. So we've been together since the 10th grade, literally the 10th grade. And our oldest daughter, she just turned 17 on Christmas. So thank you so much, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like, it's a blessing. But being consistent, because honestly, let me know, guys. Drop a number 1 if you're like married, in a relationship, you got a bed, you seeing somebody, and drop a number 2 if you're single, right? So this part of being consistent with our family and our business, right? Because it's that in itself can be really stressful, because let me tell y'all something. My kids got out of school December the 15th. December the 15th was the last day. And they go back tomorrow. Okay. So it is very different when my kids are home and everybody's home and I'm trying to work on my business. Because for one, nobody cares when I'm like, they care, but they don't really care when I'm working, right? Like, it's like, Mom, I want your attention. Mom, I need you. Mom. Like, if they see me with the camera, right, and I'm trying to record, like, they think that like it's fun, so they want to be in it. And it's hard because I'm really trying to work, right? I'm really trying to get it done. So let me go ahead. I see a lot of 1s and I see some 2s. Yes, married for 20 years. Kudos to you. Yes. That is beautiful. But managing your business, managing your family, even if you're single, right? If this is your year, you know that you want to be booed up with somebody, you want to make that commitment and make that next step, you have to be able to find a level to still be consistent with your family and your business, right? Because I always try to put my family in the priority. Like, Melanin Mommy Tribe said, my IG was dry these last 2 weeks with these kids being home. It's tough. It's like really tough, y'all. Like, trying to do packaging videos, like trying to like, it is crazy. Oh, shout out, we got another 20-year marriage. There we go, y'all. Congratulations. I love it. It's tough. It's like, it's tough being with kids, right? I got the baby, I got my son, I got my daughter. Like, everybody wants a piece of you. And then at the end of the day, y'all, I still got to be a wife. Like, I didn't make it this long by neglecting my husband, right? And so it's like getting everybody in your household and even down to like getting your spouse to like understand what it is that you're doing. Because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. All right. I'm gonna keep it real. No one, right? Like, people, like your spouse is going to believe in you, your kids are going to believe in you, they're going to root for you. But until you start showing that level of dedication and consistency, no one's going to take you seriously, right? Like, no one's going to take that business seriously. No one's going to, like, until they see you put in that level of commitment and dedication to what it is you're doing, they're not going to take it as seriously. No one is really, even the people closest to you, because they don't see you putting in what needs to be done. Right. So I know, like, everybody here, they know, like, mom gets it in, like, mom gets it in. And that's why, and trust me, right? Like, even they had to see, like, wow, like my husband, right? Like, he makes the jokes, right? Like, you always working. That's what he tell me. You always working. I'll have like a minute of free time. I'll just pop out my computer. You always working, right? I'm in between watching the Steelers game, giving a bath, and working on the computer, right? It's like, you always working. How you doing? You're like, you always working. But it's the level of consistency and it's the respect, so that now, right now, right, I don't have to worry about the kids. I don't have to worry about the little things because my partner understands. And so when you have deadlines, when you have things that need to be done, when they see you put in that level of consistency in your business, they will begin to understand that you're very serious about what you're doing, and the support will come more often. So Morgan from Mommy's Mastering Money says, girl, my kids been home for the last year. When I say it's been tough, honey, it's been tough. It's really tough to parent children and run a business. And I don't care what anybody has to say, especially if you have young children, right? Now, all my kids were school age, Lord, I would be good. But it's very tough. And it adds a whole nother level of commitment that you have to make, because now you still have to find time for you. You got to find time for your business. You got to find time for your kids, especially when you're doing it all by yourself, right? So I'm blessed because, like, when my husband's home, right, I'm good. But when he has to go to work, like, I got to take the kids to school, pick them up. You know, my kids get out of school early. They go to school at the crack of two eggs for some reason. They get out even earlier here in Florida. So Florida is really weird because the elementary school kids go to school at 7:40 and they get out at 1:55. So it's like, by the time I get back home, it's time to pick them back up again. And then I got the baby here during the day. So it's like, when do I have to be consistent? Which means here's the S word nobody likes to talk about, is making the sacrifice, right? So if you saw my stories this morning, I talked about putting yourself first. Let's put you first this year. That means that if you got to get up 30 minutes earlier so that you can put yourself first, because think about it, right? This is for all my moms, my parents out there. The first thing you do when you wake up, right? You got to get the kids, right? You got to they need breakfast. They got to brush their teeth. They got to get dressed. You got to get dressed. You got to brush your teeth. And before you know it and you look up, you done so many things for other people and you haven't even done anything for yourself. So I had to learn a long time ago, I got to sacrifice, right, a little bit more of my sleep so I can get up earlier in the morning and do me first, right? Do you first. You have to learn how to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. Because when you can get up and you can work out, you can meditate, You can brush your teeth without having anybody in your face. You can have your coffee or tea without having anybody asking you a million questions in the morning. When you can get up and just kind of be you first before you got to deal with everybody else, I promise you, it really makes a big difference in your day, because now you're doing it for you. We as moms, we are so conditioned, and moms and wives, we are so conditioned of doing it for others, right? Doing it for our spouse, doing it for our kids. And the last person we do it for is ourselves. So I'm telling you, this year, do it for you. Put you first, right? Sacrifice. What can you sacrifice to get up an additional 30 minutes before everybody else? I promise you, you won't even care what you're giving up when you get up in the morning and it's just you and it ain't nobody else, right? Ain't nobody in your face. You can eat your breakfast in peace. You can pray. You can meditate. You can work out. You will begin to look forward to it. But once again, is how can you remain consistent with putting yourself first, right? Because I'm telling y'all, I get up early, but that might not be the thing for you, right? So you have to say, you know what? How can I carve out 30 minutes of a day, 30, 45 minutes in a day for myself, right? What can I do in that 30-minute time span? Every Monday at 12 o'clock, am I going to stop what I'm doing and pray? Am I going to meditate? Am I going to work out, right? Even if you got to work out with the kids, but what can you do to start putting yourself first, right? Let's be consistent with ourselves, because nothing else is going to be consistent until we are real with ourselves. Okay. So Girlfriends Inc. said, amen. There will be, when there's a will, there's a way. That's right. When there's a will, there's a way. So we got to be consistent in our business online. We got to be consistent with our relationships and our family. We got to be consistent with our health, right? But most importantly, we got to be consistent to ourselves, because we owe it to ourselves, right? Think of everything you're doing right now. As a matter of fact, take a minute and think about everything you did today, right? Like my day started boom, 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 boom. And it's still nonstop. And when I get off this live, I still got things to do. I still got to wash clothes, still got to get clothes out for tomorrow, still got to get backpacks ready, still got to get all these things done, right? But if I didn't take that moment this morning for myself, I would have never gotten a moment of quiet time, downtime just for me. Okay. So I want you guys to get into that habit, right? If you're writing this down, even if you leave with anything tonight, let me be consistent for me. Now, I want to be consistent because I want to make myself feel good. I want to be consistent for self, right? Let's just be a little selfish for ourselves and decide, what does it look like? What does consistency look like? What does that mean? What does it mean to be consistent in my relationship? Y'all going on dates once a week? Are y'all going on dates once a month? Are you being consistent with your kids, right? Are you carving out that time? Because here's the thing, and I'm going to close with this. When it comes down to being consistent, when people begin to see how consistent you are, it becomes second nature, right? So we already know, right? We know the people who can consistently post 3 times a day. Y'all know, I feel like I don't even need to post that I'm going live on Monday night, because my community already knows it's Monday night. Shannon going live at 10 o'clock, because I've been doing it for almost a whole year now, right? That's me consistently showing up to where I don't have to post, right? So you have to, once you get into that rhythm of being consistent, right? Then when you want to take a break, you don't have that guilt. Like I ain't have no guilt over them last 2 weeks I was out. Like none, like no guilt, none at all, no shame. I felt good because I know I've put the work in. I know I've done it. I know I did it for me. And so as we start this year off, let's do it for ourselves. Let's be more consistent under our own terms. Be consistent on your own terms, right? Make sure you're not just you're being consistent to yourself and to other people inside your lives, right? Your relationships, being consistent, more consistent with your kids, being consistent inside your business, here for your audience, for your customers, even at your job, right? If you're still working your job, be more consistent at your job. Okay, because until you are done with it, you need to show up the best that you could possibly be. Even if you don't feel like being there, don't use that as an excuse to, you know what, I don't feel like being here, right? Be consistent in your attitude, be consistent in your beliefs, be consistent, and just true to yourself. So I want to actually end this live with the affirmation of the night, right? And I want you guys to screenshot this. Let me make sure I look cute, because when y'all do y'all screenshots, I don't look all busted. Y'all go ahead and screenshot this, but screenshot this affirmation of the night, right? My thoughts and my beliefs create my reality, and I'm the master of all my thoughts. Okay. My thoughts and my beliefs create my reality, meaning that whatever you think and believe, that is going to recreate what you are seeing, what you are living out in your everyday life, right? If you're thinking negatively, right, and you always believe that ain't nothing good coming your way, if you always believe that, you know what, I'm stressed, I'm this, I'm broke, I don't got, I don't got what I want, whatever, I can't stand this job, right? That's going to be the reality that you're living in, right? You are the master of all of your thoughts, right? Even the negative ones, because it's very natural to have negative thoughts, right? I'm not going to sit up here and say you shouldn't have negative thoughts, because everybody has them, but you are the master of all of your thoughts, negative and positive, meaning that you can change your thought, right? So the moment you're like, you're on your way to work, you're like, oh, I don't feel like being at work today, I don't feel like dealing with these people. Change that thought, because you are the master of that thought. Like, you know what? I'm very blessed to be driving to my job that is paying my bills and allowing me to live the life that I want to live, right? Change your thoughts. You got a bill that came in. Oh my God, I don't feel like paying this bill. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have the money to pay this bill, right? Because if I didn't have the money, my lights would be off, there would be no food, I would have no phone, okay? You are the master of your thoughts. Whatever you believe, right, that's your reality, right? So one of the things, especially when it comes down to our businesses, if every day, you know what, I don't never get no sales. Don't nobody ever want to engage with me. No, you know what I mean? Social media is played out. No, like if that's what you're filling yourself with, that is the reality that you are going to live in. Okay, so please remember that, screenshot it, tag it in your stories. This is the affirmation of the night. And I wanted to open up with it. Sorry. Oh, my voice got all like high. I wanted to open with it, but I'm gonna make sure that I am opening and closing all of our lives with affirmations. I'm sorry, y'all. I like swallowed like the wrong way. So my thoughts and my beliefs create my reality. I'm the master of all my thoughts. I'm gonna post that inside the in my stories after this live, so that you can also have it as well. And as we close out, right? As we close out, I want to really let you guys know that this is your year, right? This is your year to make it whatever you want to make it. Okay. I know you've seen people here on Instagram, on social media, like, my life has changed in a year. Look at where I was last year. Look at where I'm at this year, right? That can be you, right? It's up to you to determine how well this year is going to go. Okay. Are we going to have some downs? Are we going to have some hard times? Are we going to go through some shit this year? Absolutely. I will be the first person to tell you, okay? Expect it. Because the closer you get to reaching your goals, the more adversary, the more crazy stuff, the more the enemy will want to try to pop up in your life and get you off track. Okay. That's like a given. But if you keep pushing through, you keep being consistent, you keep being dedicated, you keep manifesting, you keep your affirmations, you keep working towards your goal, you're going to be exactly where you want to be by the end of the year, right? Keep going. A lot of us are in our beginning stages of our business, and we have a long journey ahead of us. Right. So just know that the journey is long, but it doesn't have to be hard. It can be fun. It can be exactly what we want our journey to be like, right? Because we are the master of our own thoughts. and our own beliefs. So we get to create the reality that everybody and ourselves that we see. So you're absolutely welcome. She said, thank you for this. I'm excited, guys. Look, this week, y'all, this YouTube, like, I gotta just get my link tree up. I'm gonna put the link in my bio. I gotta like refix my link tree, but I'm excited. So I started my YouTube channel. I launched some new merch this week. Y'all like this shirt? It's okay to not be okay. I love it. And it's also on the back of the shirt. Ugh. So I have some new merch. Go to the store, createyourownempire.com. You have until midnight to save 22% off of your total order. I still have manifestation books. I still have marketing books. Y'all, I got some really, really, really like extra cute new t-shirts that came out. My t-shirt my heat press printer came. So I'm excited to do unboxing of that tomorrow. This is just wonderful, right? Everything is looking up. Okay. Everything is on the up and up. And we are going to do it. So you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining in on this live. Once I post it, go ahead and come back to the comments. Let me know what you loved about it. Share it out. Tag somebody in the comments. But this is your year. Okay. Find some time within the next 24 hours to decide what does it mean to be consistent in your life, right? Put it under your own terms, sign your own contract and stick to it. Okay. You guys, I love you all so much. Have a wonderful night. And I will see you again, y'all. You already know next Monday. I ain't even gonna say this week. I'll see y'all again soon. Much love to you and good night.